Take a good look at this house. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a nice yard in a quiet neighborhood. It's the classic American starter home. But you can't have it. In fact, you never even had a chance. And it's not because you didn't work hard enough or save enough for a down payment. It's not because of inflation, and it's certainly not because of 7% interest rates. You lost this house because a Wall Street algorithm just bought it. They bought it with an all-cash offer, before you even had the chance to call your realtor and schedule a viewing. While you were looking at photos online, a machine evaluated the neighborhood, calculated the rental yield, and wired the money. This isn't a glitch in the matrix. Today, megacorporations, private equity firms, and institutional investors are quietly buying up entire neighborhoods across America. They are fundamentally changing the U.S. real estate market, turning the American middle class into permanent renters. But here is the most important part: they aren't buying randomly. They are targeting very specific zip codes, using a secret map. And if you live in one of these zones, you are currently bidding against billions of dollars in institutional cash. Let's look at the actual data. Starting in 2021, the U.S. housing market essentially broke. When interest rates plummeted during the pandemic, institutional investors realized that single-family homes weren't just places to live. They were the ultimate safe haven asset. They flooded the market. At their peak, investors were buying roughly 1 in every 5 homes in major metropolitan areas. That is a staggering amount of supply removed from regular families. But here is the biggest misconception. Wall Street isn't fighting over luxury mansions in Beverly Hills or penthouses in Miami. The profit margins there are terrible. Instead, they are fighting for the cheap stuff. They are aggressively hunting exactly what you are hunting: the starter home. The essential first step on the American wealth-building ladder. The Redfin data proves it. Investors have their absolute highest market share in the lowest price tier of housing, hitting nearly 24%. They specifically want the basic 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house because it's the easiest to rent out to a young family that just got priced out of buying it. So how are they beating you to the punch every single time? It's not magic, and it's not just deep pockets. It's a massive, unfair technological advantage. These mega landlords aren't sitting around browsing Zillow like we do. They are running proprietary underwriting algorithms at massive scale. These digital platforms instantly rank neighborhoods, evaluate school districts, predict future rent demand, and calculate resale risk automatically. Think about the asymmetry here. While a regular family spends their weekend gathering tax returns and begging a bank for mortgage pre-approval, the institutional algorithm flags a profitable home the second it hits the market and generates a legally binding, cash offer instantly. And if you are the seller, who are you going to choose? The family whose bank financing might fall through at the last minute, or the faceless corporation offering cold, hard cash with zero contingencies and no waiting? Sellers take the cash every time. By the way, if you're finding this data eye-opening, a quick like on the video really helps us expose these market realities to more people. But remember that secret map we talked about? These corporations aren't trying to own everywhere. You won't see them buying up Manhattan or San Francisco. They are trying to own where they can cluster, operate cheaply, and keep occupancy high. Wall Street's secret map looks exactly like the migration patterns of regular Americans. They are following the jobs and the population growth straight to the Sun Belt. Let's look at the numbers. In the Atlanta metro area, investors bought over a third of all homes at their peak in late 2021, and even after the market cooled, they still commanded a massive quarter of all sales. According to government data, mega investors hold massive shares of the single-family rental market in specific cities: 25% in Atlanta, 21% in Jacksonville, 18% in Charlotte, and 15% in Tampa. Anywhere with strong job growth and relatively affordable housing became ground zero. They don't need to buy the whole country, they just need to dominate specific, growing markets. And here's the terrifying part about that strategy. By choking the housing supply in specific zip code clusters, these corporations can effectively push rents up for everyone nearby. Now, if you go on TikTok or Twitter, everyone blames BlackRock for this. But people are pointing their anger at the wrong target. The true giants of single-family rentals aren't BlackRock. They are mostly real estate investment trusts and private equity platforms. We are talking about massive companies like Invitation Homes, Pradium Partners, and American Homes for Rent. And these companies have evolved. They aren't just buying existing homes anymore. Welcome to the build-to-rent era. The construction of single-family homes built specifically for rent surged from 60,000 units to 90,000 units a year. Corporations are now bypassing the real estate market entirely. They are buying massive plots of land and building entire, idyllic suburban neighborhoods from scratch, hundreds of houses at a time, where not a single home is actually for sale. It looks exactly like the American dream. The white picket fence, the driveway, the manicured lawn. But you don't own it. You have to rent the American dream from Wall Street. Why does this matter so much? Because in America, homeownership isn't just about having a place to sleep. It is the primary engine of wealth creation. According to the Federal Reserve, the median net worth of a homeowner is nearly $400,000. For a renter, it's barely $10,000. When corporations take the starter home off the market, they are severing the very first step of the wealth-building ladder for millennials and General Z, and you are trading a mom-and-pop landlord for a ruthless spreadsheet. Studies show that institutional operators have a much greater propensity to file for eviction than smaller owners. If you miss a payment, an algorithm doesn't care about your personal circumstances. We are slowly transitioning from a nation of independent homeowners to a nation of permanent renters, paying a significant chunk of our income as tribute to corporate landlords. So, is there a fix? Actually, yes. In February 2026, Senators Hawley and Merkley introduced a bipartisan bill called the Homes for American Families Act, specifically designed to ban Wall Street and large institutional investors from buying single-family homes. It sounds like a perfect solution. But with billions of dollars in lobbying power on Wall Street's side, and the fact that many politicians' own portfolios are tied to these massive funds, bills like this face a brutally uphill battle. If you want to build wealth and own property in 2026, you can't just follow the old rules. You have to know where the algorithms are looking, and intentionally look somewhere else. In fact, there are still a few hidden geographic oases where Wall Street hasn't taken over yet, and where your money goes incredibly far. Click the video on your screen right now to see the top 5 US cities where an average salary still makes you rich. Subscribe to America Quantified to stay ahead of the data, and I'll see you in the next video.